morning. Welcome all. We are so excited to have you here with us today in our monthly meditation practice. I have to say that this has been part of my journey and my wellness journey. And I am so blessed to be here with Coach Anissa. I have to say that she inspires me every day to really take some time to really understand where I'm at in this moment and also flow, and allow that fluidity to permeate in everything that we do every day. This journey has been beautiful. It's been, I say, almost a year since we meet every month. And now we have new faces, and that is incredible. The fact that people really want to be part of this and take the time to practice meditation. Nobody expects you to be perfect. We just need to start doing it one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. So today with me is Coach Anissa, and she has brought this beauty to us. Welcome, Coach Anissa. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you so much, Virginia, for being there, for your energy, and for your kind words. So I'm very happy to be there and be the host for this series that you have been started a year ago, actually. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for
Yes.
creating this.
And so today, I love our name, which is Heal and Shine. And we all heal in different ways and we all shine differently. So I think the most beautiful part of today is that it is so individual to you, to where you're at in your journey and how we're going to integrate our practice. I would love you to meet our new faces. Some of them we've seen before, and some we are just introducing, and they're wonderful, wonderful women. So here we see Suma. Welcome, Suma. She's from India. Welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much, Lillian and Virginia, for having me on board here. And thank you so much, Virginia, for actually introducing me. I'm an entrepreneur from a state called Telangana in India. And it's a pleasure to be here because meditation is something that's close to my heart. And I always believe learning is a lifelong process. So I'm in a continuous pursuit of learning. And I'm a seeker, spiritual and otherwise. So that's about me. And meditation is something that has changed me as an individual, and it has brought in a lot of, you know, uh, earlier when I was having a call with, informal call that I was having, Lillian said equilibrium, and I would like to agree with her. Yes, it does bring that. And I've been into meditating for quite some time now, and it's a wonderful feeling to be talking about it and about my experience here. And thank you once again, Virginia, for having me on board here.
Thank you, Suma. Thank you so much for being here. Lilian, welcome. It's a face we've seen before, so welcome, Lilian.
Hi, I'm Lilian Schiavo from Brazil. I'm a married mother of two children. I'm an architect who builds bridges between human and and today, if you want to, I am talking about sorority. May I?
Thank you so
Oh,
much. Thank you,
okay,
Lilian.
okay. The first
And
time, ah,
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
the first time I heard the word sorority, it sounded like poetry. As the time I didn't understand why human needed to get together. Why I grew up listening to get together. I'm sorry about that. I grew up listening to real inspiring stories like Madame Curie and Florence Nightingale. And I heard the stories of a powerful woman who changed the story of the world. I was free to be protagonist of my life, and with so many choices, I was able to hit and miss alone. I could choose the profession, the husband, I could decide to be a mother. And in this way, I learned to be responsible for myself. I needed to enter in an exclusive circle of a woman to hear outraged accounts of a woman without voice, who felt invisible, who were afraid, who struggled with low self-esteem, human who suffered harassment or violence, who were disrespected. I met women who overcome obstacles, broke chains and glass ceilings, overcame the imposter syndrome. Sorority comes from the Latin soror, meaning sister. It's about the sisterhood, creating acceptance and belonging. It's to look without judging, without competing or envying. It's to rejoice in the success of the other. It's understanding that if you and another woman shines, you can learn from her. So, when a woman goes on stage, don't notice if she's overweight. Don't judge if the clothes, hair, or makeup are wrong. Seek to see her qualities instead of flaws. Praise instead of criticizing. Wherever you are, hope she doesn't fall, but keep climbing. Who knows, next time you will be the one who will be occupying the position precisely because she gave you her hand and opened the way to get there.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lilian. The truth is that this particular time when we're all together brings out our power, right? And it's our innate power, and no power is better than the other. Together we create energy that is so beautiful. And that is why I love this moment. So thank you for sharing that beauty. Megna, welcome. Welcome to your space. How are you
Thank
today?
you so much. I am absolutely fine. How are you?
Very good. Welcome. So tell us a
Uh,
little bit about yourself.
I am Meghna Verma. I'm from India. I'm the co-founder of HS Group. So we are the wholesalers of certain FMCG products like dry fruits, berries, and some healthy mixes. So this is my first time I'm joining this session with all of you. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Meditation as a topic itself is very new for me. I've been thinking of starting it since I don't know for how long, but I never got this opportunity to sit, listen, and actually get into it in this way. And I really am thankful to Marsh for inviting me here. And I think after this session, this will this will going to give me that motivation of yes, I need to sit at least for 10 minutes, give myself that time, and start meditating.
Absolutely. That's a gift that you give to yourself, you know. I love that you put it that way because sometimes we say, oh, I have to meditate. It should never be a chore. It should be that gift that you give to yourself. So thank you so much for sharing that because it is so important to carve out that time. If not, we'll just be going one activity after the other without really touching who we are and making sure that we're grounded. So thank you so much, Megan.
Absolutely. Thank
I
you so
also
much.
have, I hear Prashi, we can see you. So welcome. Tell us a little bit about
Yes,
yourself.
yes. Thank you so much. I really like today's wonderful initiative. I must say I can introduce myself as a founder, a director of Skylark Automation, but I must say I'm a simple human being because meditation teaches us you need to be a strong human being. What is meditation? Meditation is nothing but understanding your ego, understanding yourself, your inner true self. That is meditation. So if you understand yourself better, you can do anything in the world. So meditation is nothing but winning yourself, winning your heart, your mind, your spirit, your soul. That is meditation. And each and every person is a meditator. So I must say this is a wonderful initiative. Thank you so much for inviting me. Meditation is nothing but is kind of energy, superpower. And every person is a god. That is meditation.
Wow, love it. I love it. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing that. I hope that
Thank
everybody's listening to that right now because you took away all that intimidation that people feel about meditation and realize that that is you and it's the love that you have inside of you for yourself. So thank you so much for bringing those words to us. And then I have Daksh, Dakshna. Are you there? We can.
Yeah,
Hi, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself and please say your name again. I want to make sure that I have it correctly.
You're on mute, Daksh.
oh, I have muted it on my own.
There we go.
Sorry. I am, I am Daksha. I'm from India. I run my own training company in the name of Master Trainers Inc. Coming to meditation, I've learned meditation in the year 2013 when I was working for an organization, for a pharma company in Vizag. So that is when I've learned how to meditate and try to be more mindful. I've learned different kinds of meditation. I learned chakra meditation. I am practicing Kriya Shakti meditation. I am trying to do even Yoga Nidra meditation. Meditation, according to me, is being more mindful, curbing your negative thoughts, being grounded all the time. And as Prachi said, rightly said, it is an energy. So you should be able to develop that energy by aligning all the chakras is what I feel.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Sudhaksh.
much. Thank you. And welcome.
Thank you.
Mar, we see you.
Thank you.
Mar is our fearless leader. She has created this beautiful space for us. So, Mar, a few words.
I am absolutely, thank you, Virginia. I am absolutely delighted to see you all here. Now, this is the effort of many of us, Lillian and Virginia, that are part of Global Networking Win and know exactly what it means. And searching for people who share our spirit. And Anisa is one of that one that just openly, unconditionally, she's part of us and working from Switzerland, always taking this time for sessions, for events, trying to contribute. So I am absolutely grateful for what is happening here, for this intangible energy that embrace us, and we know that we are going on the correct road, correct direction. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mad. And as you were talking about that energy, to me, everything boils down to love, right? Love. And love is that energy that encompasses everything. And as you realize that real love has nothing to do with the outside, but everything to do with what's in your heart, what's inside. At first, it could be a little spark, and then it could be a flame, and then it can be a bonfire, but it starts little by little. So I don't know where you're at right now in your journey of healing, but let me tell you, shine just comes from who you are and loving that's inside with everything that you are. So thank you for being with us. And Coach Anisa, I think you have something you want to show us that has to do with our name today, which is Heal and Shine.
Thank you, Virginia.
Thank you.
Before maybe moving to Heal and Shine intuitive cards, I just want to thank Lillian. It was very nice what you read about sisterhood and about supporting each other. I have been before this meeting with some other friends, and we were talking about the business and how to support each other and the power of really working together. And thank you so much for reading that. And it's so important that we women support each other and focus on the beauty that it is in each of us rather than the competition, but collaboration. So thank you again, Lillian. It was so resonating to me what you have read. Thank you. And coming to Heal and Shine, it's so nice what you said, Virginia. The love that you said, that's unconditional love, that sometimes we forget about, cause so much suffering, and cause so much pain. And by bringing that love and recognizing it in our heart, we start to really heal. And what I like also to add, I see so many people suffering and they say they're in the process of healing and they think that they cannot take actions because they're not perfect, because they're broken, or they think that, hey, I'm not enough because I'm in the process of healing. So I want to use this space as well to say, hey, no one is perfect. We're the whole life in process of healing. Everyone that's sitting here and outside, we are dealing with something, right? And that's life. So do not be afraid and do not judge yourself for how you're feeling now. So if you have maybe you're a coach, maybe you're a meditation teacher and going through depression, because that can happen because we're a human being, right? We cannot say it's like a doctor that sometimes they feel sick as well, right? They have fever. So not because of their doctor, they cannot be sick and they're always healthy. So especially us, being in this field, having so many people around us, it can happen that sometimes we do not feel good. So do not be ashamed or do not be afraid. That's fine how it is, and that is totally fine also to take some actions in that moment if you think that they can help you in the process of healing. So I want to add that as well. And I want to connect that with meditation as well, because I believe that, I don't know, maybe 70% of the population, they still didn't realize the power of meditation that can change life. They see meditation only something that you sit with, right? And it brings relaxation. That is as well. And from other side, when you sit with yourself, with your heart, with a clear mind, you can receive the divine message. You can receive what universe is keeping for you, and you can even listen to yourself to say, hey, what I really want. And then you can more space to decide for the things that you do not want in life. How many people I have seen by starting the meditation, they realized they're in a wrong relationship, and they could get rid of it by understanding their true beauty, to say, hey, I'm enough, I'm beautiful, I do not deserve what is happening in my life with this person in my life. And then they could take action. So that is the power of meditation that can really change and bring healing, because you sit with yourself. You're aware of what is happening, and you understand your feeling. So I say, if you do not feel it, if you do not accept it, then there is no healing. So maybe first step really to heal is to sit, give a space and see what is happening. Then you can take the next step to accept and go for healing. And as you say, Virginia, every of us, we shine differently. So I just want to add this before anything else, to show you anything else. And as you mentioned, I've seen so many different cards in my life, and I love the oracle cards. They're not tarots, okay? They're oracle cards, and they're intuitive cards to give some sparks of reflection and meditation. And they call it the Heal and Shine. That it was a project in my heart that I wanted to create them for some times. And I've seen so many cards, and for me it was kind of something missing to give an action or to give a point of reflection. So that's why we have created that with a dear friend of mine. There are 33 cards, the number of angels, to give some spark of inspiration. I just want to read one of them for you in this session, okay? I just want to pick up one of those and read it for you. So I just pick up this one, which calls grounding. You may feel that you have no home. You cannot find a place to call home. You may feel you have lost connection to everything and feel lonely in this moment. This card encourages you to connect to the Mother Earth by practice grounding and trust that you can accomplish it. Go dancing or walk in nature. I've just took it very intuitively. I don't know if it resonates or not, but the message is, hey, if you feel not grounded or you feel not connected, it is because you're losing the connection with Mother Earth. So go and dance, and it helps you. So I wanted to include this message according to how you might feel, and I advise to use it maybe daily or even with your friends, something that reminds you where you are, and yeah, you can reflect on an action. So if you like to know more about them, I'm here. I just wanted to present this product that is on my heart. Thank you, Virginia.
Oh, I think it's lovely. And I think it also gives us every day we picked a card, it would start our day, with a purpose. Because sometimes we wake up and we're so frazzled with life and go that this just centers us for a moment to really reflect on the message and see how we can apply it in our day to day. So I love those. So I'll talk to you later about those, because those are beautiful. As you were reading that, that I always bring my wise mother into this conversation. But when I was little and talking about grounding, whenever it would rain and we would see the clouds out, my mom would prepare us to really dress as comfortably as possible and wait for the rain. And as soon as the rain would come, we would take our shoes off and she would take us to the grass. And she would say, I want you to really get your feet dirty. I want you to really feel what it is to be part of the grass and the dirt and whatever life is living in there. And I remember not being afraid to be barefoot, not being afraid to get dirty, not being afraid to be one with something bigger than me. And when you were reading that, it really brought me back to that time in my childhood that we would wait for clouds. We were hoping to get clouds because clouds meant that we would be able to play around and really be one with the ground and the earth. So it was just really beautiful that you brought that in. And I think we all need to go back to that. When we were free, when we felt that the smallest things were the biggest things, and that really is what brings that love that we have with ourselves. So I don't know if any of you have any other, when Anissa was reading Grounding, if there was anything that sparked with you or any other experience. Don't be shy. This is good.
So actually, grounding is something that I think all of us need on a day-to-day, basis. We're more focused on survival than actually, being grounded. And grounded has different meanings in different contexts, right? Some people say you have too much of a flights of fancy, so you be grounded. So, but I think Anissa's grounding is entirely different. It's about being with yourself, being one with the nature and Mother Earth. And that I think is very, very crucial for all of us, and we need to understand how important it is, because we don't seem to in our day-to-day lives have the time to reflect on these things. So today's session, Heal and Shine, talking about meditation and grounding, I think it's perfectly set for the day, because there's a lot of insight that's going to come out as we go along, is what I'm feeling. That's my intuitive feeling, that there's a lot of learning that's going to happen. So I'm really thankful to Anissa for actually bringing this up. Grounding, it's a very, very crucial thing. And since we're talking about meditation, for me, meditation has been a source of grounding. I think I believe that there are different kinds of meditation that we come across. And my belief is that any meditation, the sole purpose of meditation is to look within and, kind of understand yourself, get a purpose to your life. So that's what my belief is. And I have been following the system of Anapanasati that was founded by the Gautam Buddha. And that I feel has helped me a lot, because I went through a lot of masters trying to understand meditation, trying to get into the groove of meditation and all, but everything seemed very complicated. They said, empty your mind, let no thought come to your mind, and you need to be aware of it but still be mindful. It was so confusing, like how can I be aware of everything and be mindful only of myself? And it was very complicated to begin with. But then I think over the years I've understood that it's not about not having any thoughts, but let the thoughts come and go, but don't dwell on them, because the mind tends to go on focusing on things. So if the idea is to hold your mind and say, hey, you know what, they'll come and go, just don't bother. It's like somebody ringing the call bell, the bell at the entrance, and you're like, I'm busy in the session, I can't come, right? So that's how you do it. You just ignore those thoughts and let them just go. So that's a realization that came to me pretty late. I was doing meditation and was very, very frustrated. And I'm like, I don't think I'm cut out for meditation at all. And I'd go to my spiritual guide, and I always used to tell him, I don't think I'm cut out for it. I don't think I'm meant to be doing it at all. So, and he also had no idea why I was saying that, because he felt, it is such a simple thing to do. But I think over the years, I've understood, it's not about, trying to get your mind all empty, but focusing only on yourself and your in-breath and your out-breath. Anapanasati. Ana is your inhalation, Pana is your exhalation, and Sati is being mindful, being in that moment. So the moment I actually understood that, that's when I figured, okay, meditation is not such a big deal. I can also do it. And my other challenge, I always assumed that I went off to sleep. And for the longest time, I'm like, I can't. The moment you say inhale and before you say exhale, I'm already sleeping. I can't do it. Then again, the realization there is a state called the Yog Nidra. You're not really sleeping. You're aware of it, but you're just so deep into it that, you're just aware of it, but you think that you're sleeping. You're not. So that's when I realized, okay, I'm not so bad at it, not as bad as I thought. I was doing the right thing. So I think I needed the right kind of a master to give me these answers. And once that happened, grounding also happened for me. And I said, that's how, because otherwise I'm the kind of person, who needs to be everywhere to do things. And there's a problem, I need to be the one to go and sort it out. Never mind, I don't know the people. Never mind, I'm like, thousands of miles away. I'm that kind of a person. So it has given me some kind of again, I'll use Lillian's word because I think I've taken a fancy to that word today. It has given me a sense of equilibrium. It gives me a sense of balance. So grounding and meditation for me go hand in hand. So yeah, that's what my experience.
Thank you, Suma, so much. That is so incredible because, I also felt a little frustrated whenever I would try to meditate. I think I told this 20, so maybe a year ago. And since these meditation practices, I've really opened up to it. And I realized that there's a conscious inner dialogue. When you feel okay with really having that inner dialogue, may it be soft and fluid or may it be loud, it's inside, and it's helped me really connect with my true self, but it took me a while to do that. So thank you for sharing that with us. Any other experiences here? Come on. I want to hear how this has helped you also. We're all different, when we meditate. And we just heard about Suma's particular, and I think that's great, a little frustration at the beginning. Was it easy for any of you to really embrace meditation? Was it something easy?
Virginia, is that a question for me?
For anybody that wants to answer.
All right. Yeah, for me, it was a big challenge. Like I said, I wanted to, but I thought I wasn't able to. So to, figure that out, like, it's okay. This is how you progress. So that took me some time. So yes, it was a bit of a challenge to begin with, but then I persisted. So that has paid off.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dash.
Can I answer?
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, I must say meditation is very simple. Meditation is what? Meditation is not a big deal. Like, it's not like you have to sit hours and hours. Meditation is being in the state, be in the moment. Don't think about past, don't think about future, stay in present. That is meditation. And I am Vipassana practitioner. I am doing Vipassana. I have done Reiki also. I am doing some spiritual practices also. So I must say meditation is being in the moment. And whatever I have got learning from Gautam, Lord Buddha, other lords also, spiritual healers also. So I must say, understand yourself, understand your true power. And when you can understand that true power, once you understand yourself from your inner side, your inner chakras, there are 114 chakras, 72,000 nadis in your bodies. These are the sources. And you need to activate these sources. Nobody will understand about yourself. You have to understand. You have to pass your examination. That is meditation. And you can do it in a simple way. You just have to sit. You just have to focus on your breathing. That is meditation. So I must say each and every person can do meditation in a simple way. There is no any hard and fast rule. That is meditation. Meditation is a music. It's a Lord's song. So you have to understand by yourself only as a simple human being. That is my simple practice as a meditator.
Thank you so much. And I agree, through meditation and other mindfulness practices like you spoke, I think we can recover the awareness of where we're at and who we are. So thank you for sharing that. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Anybody else want to contribute? Mar, yes.
Yeah, Virginia, I think it could be fantastic momentum after what Prachi say, to read this comment that Magali is sending us. Don't you think so? Because that is part of the message. We invite people to help them to deliver tools that they deliver balance to them. So that is part of our goal, to deliver that tools. And so see what Magali is saying. For me, it's still very difficult. I always drift away and finish standing up and leaving. This is a question for our moderator, Virginia Rivera, and for our coach, Anissa, what we are going to do with our listener, with our audience that do not believe in meditation.
And I think that that is something that again and again people say, I can't meditate. It's so foreign to me. I'm not good at it. I can't quiet my mind. And I think we're just making it really, really hard. You know, I think that when I joined Anisa a year ago, I also thought the same thing. Like, I'm very hyperactive. I'm electric. I'm never going to find that moment of peace. But then little by little, and Anisa really brings this calmness when she explains it's who you are, and everybody's going to meditate different, and you have to like really allow yourself. So Anisa, tell them what you tell me all the time when I say I am electric and I'm hyperactive. How can I meditate?
Thank you, Virginia, and thank you, Suma, as well. There are so important points that I think we need to consider. The first very things that I always say to my clients that they come for meditation is, do not judge yourself and do not expect anything. So just leave the judgment. You know, there is no way right or wrong. And meditation is also a way to show us there is no wrong and right, because you meditate for unity and union. And if you start to judging something, you're dividing, right? You say bad and good. So just let go of that bad and good. And that can be difficult at the beginning. So be patient for yourself. The first thing is no expectation, no judgment, and then be aware that it can happen with a different speed for everyone. So be patient with yourself, and that's a practice as well, right? To be patient with yourself. Maybe Magali, you have sit 7 minutes with yourself, and the next time say, hey, you know, it can be 10 minutes. Or you can say, hey, today my meditation will be that I drink my chai tea or my coffee with awareness. That can be also meditation. And when you do not respect for the result, then magic comes, you know, even the things that you're not waiting for. And the third and most important thing is have self-compassion for yourself. Self-compassion is not a fancy word. It's a verb. Self-compassion, be compassionate. So it's a verb that we need to have it by daily life. So it's not about doing have something, getting it right, to say, hey, look, I've done my best today. You know, really, literally. I mean, just let's practice it. If you like, just to give a hug to yourself, whatever you have done today or this week, whatever you have accomplished or not. Hey, you're amazing. You're amazing, Virginia, Maria, Suma, Liliana. Help me with names. Daksha, Prachi, and let me with names. Magali, that you are just watching from there and are nice. Megana, hey, I'm amazing. I'm unique. There's only one of me,
That's right.
and I'm there for you. And next time, maybe something change, transform that I'm practicing meditation. And even by doing that, you're bringing yourself together. This is a moment of awareness, and you're giving yourself love. And what is more healing than love?
That's right.
So if you want to do it, Magali, if you're there with us, you want to give yourself a hug and say, yes, you have tried that. You're going to do it again. And whatever comes the results, I'm open to that. So that's why I think that many people, they struggle because they say, I cannot sit. That's totally fine. If you cannot sit, you can do walking meditation. The important thing is to know that, hey, that moment of awareness with intention can bring magic into my life. And that's why I'm a meditation teacher, that I practice and I highlight a lot. Have self-compassion, doesn't matter. Even in the between of my meditation class, someone can walk. I'm very fine with that, and I promote that. So I want that people find as it is fine for them, because I believe that hard practice, I'm not talking about discipline, but very hard practice and hard regulation can push away people from such beneficial, you know, um, practices like meditation, yoga. So you need to find your way by learning, of course, different things, keeping the open minds, and do not judge yourself.
Absolutely. I think that we live in a world where everything has to be perfect and we're always striving to accomplish. And if we came from a family where everything that you did, it was like, no, that's not enough, we need more. I think you're also very hard on yourself because we were born as radiant beings, we're born innocent, we come full of love, and then as we grow we start to get attached all these things to the way the world wants us to be. And I think that meditation brings you back to who your true self is. And sometimes we don't even want to accept our true self because we think it's too simple, or we don't think that it's outgoing enough. And I have to say, you are incredibly pure of the way you are, and that's inside. I always say that we are seeds, and we're seeds of love. And some of us have been really buried. But when you bury a seed, it flowers, so you have to give yourself that time to really flourish and blossom. So I wanted to hear from Meghna and from Daksha a little bit how you've incorporated this part of the meditation in your life. I know that you're both busy and entrepreneurs. I would like to see a little, because we have a lot of entrepreneurs that watch us. How do you find and carve that space to really touch, with yourself and not be so conscientious about if you're doing it right or not doing it right? Meghna, I can start with you.
Yeah. How I started, like, it's not that I've never done it before. To be honest, I started it few days back. And because I was clueless about how to start meditation, as everybody's sharing their experience, that there is no correct way or there is no set rule of how you do your meditation. It is how you understand your whole thing. So, how I started, first of all, I'll share that with all of you. I just put up a music. I listen to Shiv Tandav Strot, and I sit in a very silent place. And I, especially before I go off to sleep, I do it like for 5-7 minutes or till the time that Shiv Tandav Strot doesn't get over. So this is how I do it, because I think like in a day-to-day life, it becomes very tedious for me to take out even 10 minutes, 15 minutes for myself, because even if I want to do it, I'll receive calls or I have to do something or the other. Before going to bed, that is the only time when I feel that, when it is absolutely silent and then there's nobody to disturb. And that is the only thing which gives me a lot of peace when I hear to Shiv Tandav Strot. And this is my way of doing meditation, because when I'm hearing to that, I don't get any thoughts, basically. Because a lot of people I have come across, this is the main problem, which they always say, that we keep on thinking about a lot of things, and concentrating is a big factor. But while I'm listening to Shiv Tandav Strotam, nothing comes in my mind, and I'm just focusing. I'm hearing to it, and I'm just sitting silently and listening it to it. So this is my way of doing meditation, and I think that is the only drive which is actually I'm continuing with it since past 10 days now.
That is
so this
beautiful.
is how yeah.
Thank you. That is beautiful. And I think that's a great idea for anybody, a favorite piece of music that's really going to make, right? Coach Anissa, that's a great way to do it. And Daksha, I would love to hear your thoughts also.
When I started doing meditation, my mind was wavering. I couldn't bring that back. What I learned is I started focusing my mind on one object, bringing my focus onto one object. That is how I learned meditating. And going forward, what I learned is while working, while walking, while doing any kind of daily activity, I started being more meditative. That is how I've learned calming myself. To give you an example, if there is some in everybody's life, there will be some kind of an issue or some kind of an argument with any one of you, any one of the persons. Say, for example, if the maid has done something wrong, we go talk to them, and the as Suma was using a fancy word which he liked today, equilibrium, balance. You will lose the balance within. That is when I've learned myself to focus on one object, which I uh, decided for myself and started being more meditative on that. And as an energy healer, while as I guess Anissa is a healer too, so while healing a person, even then I used to get distracted while meditating on that. Also, I used to get distracted, but I have learned it through very hardship, bringing back my focus onto one, as I mentioned to you, one object, visualizing that internally, and being, as I said, being more grounded onto that thought, onto that object, holding that object and being more grounded. And that is how I've learned. Traveling inner, I started traveling into the inner self. That is how I've learned.
Thank you so much, Daksha, for sharing that with us. I think that also that's a great idea. I wanted to say hello to Shreya, right? She's one of our dear soul sisters, and she was giving us some beautiful comments. And Laura, thank you for joining us also. Wellness, the key to balanced state of being, absolutely. And I think wellness is different for all of us, right? Is where we feel that we can be our truest self, and that comes back to being in the moment and really appreciating and accepting who you are, and that can be hard sometimes. So like Coach Anisha said, we have to have some self-compassion with ourselves, but this is where we're going: wellness of mind, body, and soul. Thank you so much, Shreya. And Lilian, do you want to add something before we start our practice?
Yes, I would like to say that I think we are spiritual beings, and so we need to have connection with God, with the sky. I don't know the word because everyone believes in one God, and we need to do meditation because it puts us in another level. I used to be on silence and I put my feet on ground because I think I put my feet on ground and my mind up on the sky. And so I close my eyes and I connect with God. And I when I return, I feel so good and so with a new energy. And I think it's essential for us, for everybody. Like to eat, like to sleep. Meditation is very important in our life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lilian. I think I also agree with you. It re-energizes you, right, when you do that. But again, I think today has been a wonderful conversation of how we all heal in different ways, because pretty much we're all in that process, but we're just not saying, "Oh, I'm broken, I'm damaged, I can't meditate." No, this is part of our journey, and it's part of loving who we are. So now, Coach Anissa, I think we're ready to start our beautiful practice today.
Thank you. And I think I'm inspired to do a short, compassionate, self-compassionate meditation
Yes.
with you. Is it fine? I think as we talk about compassion, so let's do that. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your story and experience. That's priceless. Thank you. So you can be seated as you are comfortable. You can be on a chair or on the floor as you are comfortable. So let your body and heart choose where you want to be. You can even put a pillow, between your back and the chair if you're sitting in a chair. If you're suffering from the pain of lower back, you can make yourself quite comfortable. And when you are ready, you can close your eyes slowly to bring your attention inward. And just for a moment, Just check your body how you are doing. Check your breath. Is it smooth? Is there any tension anywhere in your belly and your chest area? Or any weight on your shoulder? Just a quick check, a scan of your body. How am I doing in this moment? And maybe a quick scan of your thoughts and emotion. What I'm holding in my thoughts, or what is the emotion in this moment that I have. Just acknowledge it, whatever it is. It's only a thought and emotion. It's not you. Just acknowledge it. And I invite you to start breathing a little bit deeper. So from your belly, and slower than usual. So a little bit deeper and slower than usual. And find your rhythm as you're comfortable. So you're not pulling or pushing. It's a very comfortable breathing rhythm. It's only a little bit slower and deeper than usual. A little bit slower and deeper than usual. And I invite you slowly to bring one hand to your heart, just to connect with your heart. And keep your slow and deep breathing rate. It's like a dynamic dance that you're feeling and connecting with your heart. And you're breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual. And I want to invite you to bring self-compassion to your heart. You can remind of someone who has compassion for you and who has so much love for you. It can be your mom, it can be a dear friend, it can be your spiritual teacher, that you can really feel that love and compassion in your heart. Someone that is holding you with the love and compassion, so you can really feel covered by this compassion, like an energy, like a bubble of energy and light. So you're covered in this love. And you continue your breathing slower and deeper than usual. And you're feeling more and more this love and self-compassion in your heart and also around your body. so you feel more relaxed. The breath is smoother, your shoulders are lighter, and you can see this person, your mom, your dear friends, or your spiritual teacher that telling you, hey, you are beautiful as exactly how you are, and you are doing your best in life. And that's fine how you are feeling in this moment. Just stay some more breath. Sure, very deep and very slow breath. With this feeling of self-compassion and light around you. You can even let the self-compassion and this comfort, relaxing feeling goes where you need it in your body. If there is pain somewhere, if there is tension anywhere. Two more breathing. And whenever you're ready, you can slowly, very slowly, with love and self-compassion, you can open your eyes and you can give yourself a hug, just like how your mother would hug you and would hold you. Your mother earth, spiritual teacher, whoever you like, just the feeling of that you are being held, you are not alone, and you're beautiful as you are. And again, you can bring your hands wherever you feel that you need some more love. You can bring it on your face, your eyes, your hearts, your belly. So you can give the energy that we have gained through meditation to your body as well for the healing. And thank you for being there. Namaste to everyone for sharing the energy.
Namaste,
It's
everyone.
nice when we meditate together.
It's beautiful. How's everybody? Isn't this like the most enchanting hour? I love this. I love this so much. Thank you so much, Coach Anissa.
Thank you.
As I was meditating, I was thinking, and you were talking about compassion, right? And we talk about so much about self-esteem, and we talk about self-confidence because that gets us to compete, right? And to go forward. But then we forget about the self-compassion, that we need that. And then that embrace that we give ourselves, that's the most important embrace that you need to give yourself every day. Because it really brings you back to that radiant being of love that you are. We all are that. So thank you so much for really bringing that to me while I was meditating, and being grateful that I'm here, and I'm still here, And Wilma says, excellent practice. Thank you. I think it's beautiful. Anybody else would like to share something before we end our practice today? How
Thank you
was
so
your
much,
experience?
Anisha. I felt the pink energy surrounding me. Thank you so much. I really felt it. You're fantabulous.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for this session. I'm really thankful. It was so blissful. I can't even explain that how what was the feeling. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mar and Virginia, for creating it. And thank you, all of you, to being there. Really, energy was amazing, and
It was.
you're sharing the experience, everything. That's amazing. Thank you.
Our hearts are full. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Maud, for always creating this beautiful space. And I'm so happy to have all you soul sisters here with us today. So if there's nothing else, we'll close this. I think that she's trying to come in. I just can't see her. Is she there? Maybe there's some. Okay. So I think that is exactly an hour. It's 55 minutes, 57. So thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Yeah,
See
bye.
you
Thank
again
you
next
so
month.
much.
Thank you.
Have a
Everybody,
nice
thank you
week.
so much.